The first pick of the Sean Payton era here in Denver is Marvin Mims Jr., a wide receiver out of Oklahoma. The Broncos traded up to draft him with the 63rd overall pick, the final pick of the second round. Hello, welcome into the studio. I am Phil Milani alongside Sidney Jones and Eric Dalala. Broncos bringing in a playmaker, a speed guy. Sidney, what do you like about Mims?
Oh, Phil, I love Mims. He was a two-year starter out of Oklahoma, and like you said, he's fast. He's a playmaker. He led the Sooners in receiving yards last year, and last season he was the only FBS receiver with at least 45 catches to average more than 20 yards per catch. And we talked to him in his conference call right after he was picked, and he said he's known for the deep ball. You know, that's one of his strengths, and is excited to come and work with Russell Wilson because of that. So I think he adds a lot to this team, and I think he'll only grow from here.
Yeah, the deep ball, that's got to be exciting. Big-time moon balls from Russell Wilson and Marvin Mims. I can see it right now. Eric, what did you think about the pick?
Yeah, well, one thing, you mentioned the trade up. That was good. The Broncos did not give up a ton to do that. A fifth-round pick, get a sixth-round pick back in return, so you go up and get the guy you want without having to break the bank. So that's a positive thing to see, first and foremost. It adds speed to this wide receiver room, a 4-3 guy. Obviously, you have Cortland Sutton, you have Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, but you know the speed maybe not kind of the number one part of their game. And you think, well, KJ Hamler's dealing with an injury right now, so this shores up that receiver room, gives you some speed at that position, which I really like. You already mentioned the deep balls that he will be able to catch and kind of stress a defense. So that's a big thing, and just adding to a receiver room that needs a playmaker. We've talked about that all offseason, that just the desire to get somebody in there that can make game-changing plays. And then also on special teams, he talked about his ability to contribute as a returner. Montrell Washington's obviously in that group, and the Broncos added some guys in free agency as well. But Marvin Mims, I would think he'd compete to be a kick returner or a punt returner. We'll have to see where he fits in there, but has game-changing ability.
Yeah, a nice pick here. It tells you that Sean Payton's looking for a playmaker like that. You mentioned that we heard from Mims a little bit. What did you take away from our little conference call there with Mims after the pick?
Yeah, Phil, one thing that I thought, and you know, I feel like a lot of picks when they get picked, they talk about this, just the tradition and opportunity to come here to Denver. He talked a lot about that and just being willing to come here and being able to do anything that coach asks him to do. And I think he's really excited for the opportunity here, no matter, you know, where he gets placed.
And Eric, what did you think it showed about what Sean Payton was trying to do here? His first pick as the Broncos head coach.
Yeah, add speed, add playmakers. You know, we've talked a lot about how Sean can take wide receivers and make them great players, and obviously he had his fair share of great wide receivers in New Orleans. If Marvin Mims Jr. is able to be even close to some of those guys, that's a big win, but shows that he's trying to revamp this team a little bit, build it in his image, what he wants to do. And I think speed's a big part of that.
Yeah, well, the Broncos, their first selection in the 2023 NFL Draft. It's Marvin Mims Jr., wide receiver out of Oklahoma. The Broncos trading up to number 63, the final pick in the second round. That's going to do it for us. For Eric Dalala and Sidney Jones, I'm Phil Milani.